From Bob Johnson Rink at the Kohl Center in Madison, the college hockey season starts tonight. The Wisconsin Badgers battle the 12th-ranked Boston College Eagles on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Hi, everybody. Along with former Badger Rob Andringa, I'm Brian Posick. Thanks for joining us tonight. Wisconsin and Boston College have two of the youngest teams in college hockey. The Eagles, with 5 freshmen, 12 sophomores, return 95% of their scoring. Goaltender Joseph Wall from a team that last year won the Hockey East regular season championship. The Badgers lost their top 2 scorers, Ryan Wagner and Trent Frederick. They have 9 freshmen on their 25-man roster, 7 sophomores, and only 6 seniors. So, Rob, what should fans expect tonight?
Well, definitely this is going to be a team to watch. They're going to grow as they get older, and that's what I'm talking about through the season. This team's got a lot of weapons to use, and that's one thing they didn't have last year up front, was be able to go 4 lines deep and play them all the time. Back on defense, so you got 3 freshmen, you got 2 freshman defensemen that are studs out there, Emberson and Keandre Miller. I tell you, the Badger fans, you're going to be ready. You're going to be ready, and you better be willing to accept this team, because this is a good hockey team.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. This game here tonight not only features 2 of the national powers of all time. They've combined to win 11 national championships, but also 2 first-round NHL draft picks. Number 18, Oliver Wahlstrom for BC, and number 19, Keandre Miller for Wisconsin.
It's always good to have high draft picks, but these guys are the real deal. You look at Keandre Miller, a tall drink of water that he is. He skates well. He passes the puck well. He can be physical when he needs to be. And again, being the 22nd overall pick for the New York Rangers, he's got a great future ahead of him. Meanwhile, for Boston College, you look at Oliver Wahlstrom. Not only he's got a cool name, Oliver, but this kid is the real deal. He skates, he shoots. But he had 48 goals last year, 46 assists for the USA team. I tell you, that's pretty rare to see a guy with that many goals and that many assists together. They're both excellent hockey players.
Yeah, and they were teammates for the National Team Development Program. Last year, Cameron Hughes was the captain of the Wisconsin Badgers. This year, the captain is senior defenseman Peter Tischke, and he's downstairs with Bill Brophy. Brof?
To wear the C as the captain of the Badgers.
It's an honor. I mean, I'm just trying to follow in the great leaders that have been here. I'm just trying to follow in their footsteps and learn from other leaders on our team and try and be the best I can be.
What do you expect? You worked out with these guys all summer. What do you think about this club as they see Boston College?
I think that our team's going to be really conditioned. We're going to go out there hard. We're going to be the hunters. We talked about that all offseason, being the hunters, hunt to the top teams, and just giving them our all every game.
Good luck. Having fun this season.
Thanks.
Up to you, Brian and Rob.
All right, Bill, what a weekend for Wisconsin sports. It concludes Monday night at Lambeau with the Green Bay Packers and San Francisco 49ers. Tomorrow night in Ann Arbor, it's Wisconsin football against Michigan. At Miller Park, the Brewers will beat the Dodgers in the National League Championship Series. And here tonight, the Wisconsin hockey season starts against Boston College. And the opening faceoffs coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Wisconsin Badger Hockey on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Travel Wisconsin. Visit travelwisconsin.com and let the fun begin. And by McFarland's Retail Service Center. Visit McFarland's in Sauk City or go to mcfarlands.net for more information. Wisconsin and Boston College kick off the college hockey season here tonight. Last year, the Badgers went 14-19-4, finished 6th in the Big Ten, lost their last 6 and 7 of 8, and missed the NCAA tournament for the 4th straight year. Boston College, 20 wins last year, first in Hockey East, but missed the NCAA tournament for the 2nd consecutive season. Wisconsin starting goaltender tonight, Jack Berry, the junior from Holly, Michigan. 16 wins, 15 losses, 2 ties in his career, at 284 goals against, an .897 save percentage. They're going to ride him to start here, Rob.
If there's a question mark for the Badgers this year, it's can Jack Berry step up and be that #1 guy? Last year, he kind of had spurts, and this is his opportunity, and let's see what he makes of it.
Yeah, by the way, Berry was really good against Notre Dame in Chicago at the United Center. Snapped the Fighting Irish 16-game winning streak with a 40-save shutout. That was his best performance from a year ago, and coming off-season back surgery. For Boston College, number 31 is Joseph Wall, the 3rd-round draft choice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. 17-11-2 a year ago. 3rd-team Hockey East when he posted a .248 goals against average and a .915 save percentage, and he was the BC team MVP last season.
I tell you, watching him in warm-ups too, one of the things I was really impressed with is at the end of the warm-ups, they had some little games in front of him. He competed on every single shot, every single move. He's focused, he's lasered in, and I tell you, he's going to be tough to beat tonight.
Badgers and BC meeting for the 27th time Eagles have lead the all-time series, 15 wins, 11 losses, but the Badgers did beat the Eagles in Boston a year ago. And we're underway, and there's the captain, Peter Tischke, playing in his career game number 100 here tonight. He turned it over at the blue line, and it rolls back to the defensive pair of Casey Fitzgerald and Jesper Madela for BC, and they've just iced the puck. They have 3 captains, BC does. Fitzgerald, I mentioned, another senior defenseman, Michael Kim, and senior forward, Christopher Brown.
And talking to head coach Jerry York, he likes his team. He's got a veteran squad coming back. He's got some young ones in there, but he's got everyone back that he wanted from last year. Nobody left to go pro, so he's real happy kind of with his start so far of what he sees.
Yep. Badgers control the puck at center ice. Tyler Inamoto to Linus Weissbach. Member of the Big Ten All-Freshman team a year ago. Weissbach 10 goals, 26 points. Here's Wyatt Kalnick, another All-Freshman team member, and he fired a shot from a tough angle that Wall gloved and hung on to. So a face-off coming up less than a minute here into the first period. Wyatt Kalnick, he can get up and go. The Philadelphia Flyers had him in for their development camp during the summer, and they were wowed by what they saw.
Well, he's a good skater. He's also got a good head on his shoulders. Not only does he think the game well, his head is always up, even when the puck's on his stick. And sometimes when you watch young players, they get a little nervous, right? And that head goes down to see where the puck is. He's got his head up all the time.
You'll notice the Wisconsin line charts, forward lines and defensive pairs down on the bottom of your screen. Our thanks to Andrew Nelson for doing all the dirty work in the truck tonight here in Madison.
Yeah, I can't spell, so I can't do that.
Tarek Baker, Linus Weissbach, Sean Doogie, and a whistle and a stoppage in play. And I'm not certain exactly what transpired there unless the puck popped up into the protected netting.
I think it did.
Oh, the door opened. Well, the gate opened down in the far corner. So, we'll drop the puck again to the right of
Nice catch,
Joseph
Bob,
Wall.
over there. Nice catch.
Bob Lindauer is doing the stats for us. Peter Giacomini is the official scorer at the Kohl Center. BC wins the faceoff, and they'll outlet up to center, but Ty Emberson, the only right-handed defenseman on the Wisconsin roster, intercepted that play, and now the Badgers possess the puck. One of the 6 seniors, Matthew Freitag, number 15, dumps it in and takes a hit. That time from defenseman Connor Moore. Badgers try to center. Jack Gorniak from West Salem, Mr. Hockey in Wisconsin a year ago. West Salem Bangor High School. He wears number 11, and he can really fly. All energy for number 11, Jack Gorniak. And now BC back in its own zone. You would figure, too, both teams have played an exhibition game. Wisconsin beat Victoria on Sunday, 8-2, outshot the Vikes 72-15, and BC beat New Brunswick 8-1. And the Eagles got 2 goals from Oliver Wahlstrom, who we highlighted in our open here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is a high-octane. Boston College has always been known for their high-end talent. And this is going to be fun to see. It's a great matchup, great test for Wisconsin to come in and play a group like this.
They're going to be tested a lot. 15 of their first 16 games are against teams that were ranked nationally in the preseason U.S. College Hockey Online poll. Long-range shot by Miller, redirected by Brock Caulfield off the blade of his stick, and it bounced wide. Caulfield, a young man from Mosinee. His younger brother Cole plays for the National Team Development Program and will be a Badger next year. And his dad, Paul, is the all-time leading scorer in UW-Stevens Point history. Silky smooth mitts.
I had a good fortune playing with Paul Caulfield with the Madison Capitals back in the 80s, and he was that good. And I tell you, the hockey genes run thick in that family, as we can tell with Brock and Cole, who's going to be coming next year. Great hockey play, great hockey family.
Yep. Brock's grandfather, Wayne, played a long time for the Milwaukee Admirals, member of the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. Puck turned over inside the Boston College blue line, battling back senior Seamus Malone, and from his knees flipped it down deep, and now a little skirmish going on between Wisconsin's Max Zimmer and BC's Zach Walker, and the referees step in to separate those 2 young men. Well, let's take a look at our Impact Player to Watch, presented by McFarland's Retail Service Center, and it's Peter Tischke.
Yeah, and just a solid 99 games played in his career to date. Again, what he brings to this is a senior player who's been all the trenches, and he's gotten better every single year. The fact that he's a captain, too, that helps. But this is a guy that I've been impressed with watching him on television and in person. Plays physical. He's one of those guys that's just, he's a grinder. And he's not going to give up in any shift. But, again, he's got a young decor around him. He's going to be the glue.
Young man that was almost cut after his freshman season when Tony Granato took over as head coach. Tischke in 99 games, 5 goals, 24 points, 54 penalties for 119 minutes. in a 97 career games, or 99 career games, beg your pardon. Nowhere near Rob Andringa's 225 penalty minutes or Bob Suter's 377, but 159, not too bad.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Always use the good Pims, not the bad Pims.
That's what it is. Badgers steal the puck. Little flip pass by Wisconsin's Baker intended for Doogie. They're offside. Again, they're feeling each other out. 3:34 into the opening period, as you can plainly see in the upper left-hand corner of your screen.
Yeah, this is, you know, you got two teams that, you know, first games technically, you know, that means something. So there's a little bit of nerves going on. And I think both teams are trying to figure out. I think they like to play the same style, which is go downhill. Don't play uphill. Go downhill.
Oh, behind the defense flew Jacob Tortora, and he couldn't catch the pass at the Wisconsin blue line. Otherwise, he would have had a breakaway. There's Tony Granato in his third year as head coach. 34 wins, 34 losses, and 5 ties. His first win here at the Kohl Center was against Boston College a couple of years ago. And I know he's excited about this season because his entire attention this season can be focused on the Badgers after coming in his first year and working towards getting his degree and taking classes during the season, and then last year serving as the head coach of the U.S. Olympic team.
Yeah, some distractions, right? Trying to get a degree, then coaching the Olympics. You know, what Tony is bringing to this program is a little bit of everything. He's bringing enthusiasm, not only for, I think, the team now, but he's brought back the alumni in a major way, and he's welcoming everyone that, you know, has come through these doors and played for the Cardinal and White. Great pick, of course, with his assistant coaches in Marco Sicchi and Mark Strobel. Again, players that have played here understand the culture, understand what it takes to win. Just a matter of getting his players in, which he's starting to get to.
Yep, and after about a decade as a volunteer assistant coach, Jeff Sanger is no longer working with his staff, so the new volunteer coach is former Badger and Madison native Brad Winchester.
8 feet tall. It's good to have a tall. No, Winnie's solid point again. You know, right there, you got a legacy guy, and Brad Wincher's dad, Gary, played in the 70s, which I got to watch quite a bit. And, you know, that's what it takes, is in everyone. I mean, BC's got great culture, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Jerry York, and we got to talk to Marty McKinnon, one of his assistant coaches I had to play against, and, you know, they do things right at Boston College, just like we try to do it here at Wisconsin.
Yeah, BC's had a pretty successful run here under longtime head coach Jerry York, the winningest coach in college hockey history.
I guess 12 Frozen Fours since 1998 is not too bad, huh?
No, that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. BC's got the puck. They've got their third line out there. David Cotton, Matt McLaughlin, Mark McLaughlin, and Christopher Brown left to right. Brown, number 10, in front of the net, but the pass intended for him off the skate of Tischke. Peter's got it now, and he's got some open ice. He can skate. He's a strong skater, but then got leveled by Cotton, and his pass ahead for Freitag too far for him, and Wisconsin's iced the puck. We're about 10 seconds away from the initial media timeout. Jerry York, hard to believe, he's in his 47th season overall, 25th at Boston College, 73 years young with 1,053 wins, 628 losses, and 117 ties. And he's a remarkable man, and we had a chance to visit with him before the game, and he couldn't be more pleasant.
He is, and that's been his career, whether he's at Clarkson, Bowling Green, or Boston College. He's the reason why he's the #1 winningest coach in college hockey.
Yeah,
he gets it.
Brock Caulfield dumps it in on Wall. He scoops it up and then paddles it away. BC with an easy outlet up to center, but then Christopher Grando was run into, and we've got a slashing penalty coming up on the Wisconsin Badgers. Or it's going against Grando, who lost the puck, and then he took a whack at one of the Badgers, so Wisconsin's going to get a power play, the first of the season.
Yeah, just as you said, he lost the puck and quick slash, and that's one thing I think hockey has gotten really good at, is identifying those little moments that can dictate whether the puck jumps off your stick or not. Straight in the neutral zone, Grando lost it, turned around quickly, and stick on stick. You can lift the stick up, but you can't get under the hands.
Yep.
And you can't slash the stick.
And the NCAA officials now, an emphasis has been placed on slashing like that, where you go stick to stick, or even if you slash the hip, the shin pads, and now a hooking penalty called on, or holding called now on Wisconsin's Will Johnson, and that'll nullify Wisconsin's power play basically before it even started.
Yeah. Face-off won by Boston College. He was able, the defenseman able to go back and get it, quickly go around his net. Again, he had position on Johnson. Johnson got one hand, he's got a stick inside the body, and then he took the other hand and wrapped it around, and that's a clear signal for the official to make. Back in the day, you could basically put a bow on a guy's head and you wouldn't get called, but nowadays I would not have done well. As you see here, just one hand on it and the other hand came around, and when you bear hug him, that's an easy call for the officials.
Yep, so we'll skate 4-on-4 here for almost 2 minutes.
Don't worry, I'm not going to be good on the officials all night long, just so you know.
You know what, though? You're fair, and if the officials were fair and communicative with you, you were more appreciative, right?
Well, I did have good relationships with them doing radio and TV, and a lot of it is I think you just call a spade, and you own up to what I say, and you own up to what you call.
Weissbach off the stick. Inamoto's got it. Here's Tyler back out to the point. Weissbach, and he rises a shot off the body of his teammate Malone. Caroms to the near wall. Brown dumps it back now for the defenseman Moore, and they'll come out of their own end. Christopher Brown, again a tri-captain, Buffalo Sabres 6th-round draft pick in 2014. His dad, Doug, played 15 years in the NHL. His uncle, Greg, was a longtime associate head coach to Jerry York, but now he's the top assistant with David Quinn in the New York Rangers.
Greg Brown, I mean, both Brown brothers were exceptional at BC, and I got a chance to play with Greg Brown a couple of times at USA events, and not only a solid player overall, but one of the nicest guys you'll meet too. Good teammate.
Badgers had a chance there, and now an outlet pass up ahead, and it looks like BC's Hutsko was offside, and that is the call. 13:30 left in the first period. Wisconsin, 2 shots on goal, nothing yet for BC. We're scoreless in the season opener here at the Kohl Center in Madison. Well, last Sunday at the Kohl Center, when Wisconsin played its exhibition against Victoria, there were about 4,500 fans here. A nice crowd filing in still here tonight for the season opener, and a ton of students have made it into the Kohl Center, and they bring that extra juice to this building.
And I've said this before, we've had great fans over the years, and don't get me wrong on this, but it was the students back in the 70s that really got this thing rocking.
Nice pass, quick shot off a stick. McLaughlin fired one from the right circle, went off a defender's stick and out of play.
Yeah, back in the old days of Coliseum, it was general admission tickets for the students, so they had to line up at the Coliseum early on a Friday and Saturday, and they really were the ones that got the momentum. And then, of course, Bob Johnson being the salesman, he got around town and made sure east side, west side, everyone got involved and took it around the state and sold it.
Yep.
Pretty good job.
Oh, now here's a steal. Chance for McLaughlin. He lost the handle, and the Badgers have it back. Seamus Malone finds the open Miller, kicks it to his stick. Keandre Miller across the line. 22nd overall pick of the New York Rangers. Muffed the puck a bit, then lost it to Cotton. Poking it free, though. Doogie almost able to reach it. So was Miller, and now eventually Cotton's got it again. Out of Parker, Texas. Big young lad at 6'3", 204. This is a bigger BC team than most people are accustomed to. You remember, Jerry York, both teams back at full strength. Lead feet as Johnson comes out of the box. And then he lost the puck. Badgers in the midst of a change. Here's Fitzgerald now. Drop pass. No one there.
Never
Badgers have it back. Here's Gorniak now trying to get an edge towards the net. Cannot. Peels away. Takes a bump now from Greco. Pass intended for Nick Mesner, one of the freshman forwards in the lineup tonight. Couldn't catch that pass. But I mean, you think of BC, Nathan Gerby, Johnny Gaudreau, some of those, Brian Gianta, some of those young, quick kids that you can just fly up and down the ice. And now you've got some big monsters on this club.
There's always an evolution, and players come in different sizes. And I think the good coaches, the reason why they're good coaches is they're great evaluators of talent. The ability to see a kid who's maybe 6'5", doesn't fit the frame that maybe you're used to, but you see something in that person, whether it's shooting, passing, a hockey IQ, and you bring them on board. Develop them. Look at Paul Christ in the football program. Look at Greg Gard and Bo Ryan with the basketball. They don't get all the top recruits in the nation, but they get the right ones.
Yeah, Coach Sauer won a national championship with you, for Pete's sake.
Yeah. He's lucky to have me.
Again, these two teams just kind of getting used to each other. Season opener, both very young squads. Here's Tyler Inamoto. Good hip check that time by Graham McPhee, junior left winger from Las Vegas. His father, George, is the general manager of the defending Western Conference champion Vegas Golden Knights.
Done all right there.
And he was a heck of a hockey player, too.
Bowling Green played for Jerry York.
Hobie Baker winner in '82.
Number 2,
Yep. Oh, mass of humanity right by both benches as the teams change here. Blowing a tire, Connor Moore back up on his skates now. Walker's got it, eludes S, and he'll look ahead. At the left wing wall, it's Michael Caro, Green Bay native. His shot blocked. Badgers pick it up. Will Johnson now looking for reinforcements. Malone to the net, tries to feed it to him, and Seamus didn't have his stick down as Johnson flipped one right in front. Malone got it back and dumped it down there. Johnson now to the point intended for Emerson, and he bounced it too strongly off the kick plate and all the way down. Michael Caro, you know him.
Yeah, I had the good fortune of coaching him. He played for Team Wisconsin, and just a hard-nosed kid, physical. Was pretty raw when we got him, and look what he's developed into, a guy that can play at a top 10 university in college hockey. It's good to see. I mean, that's the growth of hockey in the state of Wisconsin. Kid could come from different areas. Ty Emerson area, right, coming from Eau Claire area, which has always been a hockey hotbed.
Oh yeah.
And Green Bay, over the years, people forget, back in the day, Green Bay had a lot of hockey history and continues to develop things. And of course, the Green Bay Gamblers there now.
Yeah, the old Bobcats, of course. Jared Zerbel, a Green Bay native. He's the extra forward for Wisconsin tonight. NCAA rule, a new one, allows teams to dress 19 skaters as opposed to 18 in the past. So 19 skaters. You can have 2 or 3 goaltenders if you want in uniform. The Badgers have 2 tonight. The backup is freshman Daniel Lebedev. Nice pass, Weissbach. Miller shoots one. That's blocked. Good block that time by Michael Kim. Ricocheted out to center ice, and here comes Hutsko with a puck. Backpedaling, looking for space. Modula, pass in front, got through. Barry with a save. It popped into the air, and a turnaround shot by Wallstrom hit the outside post. Oliver Wallstrom.
He's got a wicked wrister, and it's quick.
Oh, scored only 48 goals for the U.S. under-18 team last year. Goodness gracious, and he was even better in major international competition. Kim shot blocked. Ricochet far wall. Fake shot by Luke McInnes. He'll dump it in, and now off the wall, it's Hutsko, fought off by Barry. Swing and a kind of a baseball swing that time by Wallstrom, missed the net. Wallstrom had it chopped away by Miller. Tischke fighting through a stick check, sweeps it near side, but BC really pressuring Rob. Oh, a shot that he fanned on the defenseman, and now misplayed by McInnes. He's able to hold his own nicely, almost gave it away. Retrieved by Hutsko, down low Modula. He can't handle, and the Badgers running out of gas.
Yeah, they are.
Kim out high, McInnes in the slot. Hutsko thought about passing, could not. Doogie pulled the puck away. Lead feed Weissbach. Is he going to go with it? Yes, he is. Baker on side. Weissbach shoots one. Oh, he missed the far side post. Glove side on wall. Mentioned Weissbach, 10 goals a year ago. He scored 2 in his Wisconsin debut against Michigan Tech on October 1st from a season ago. He had a goal and an assist in last Sunday's exhibition game. Barry looks for help, gets it from Inamoto, pitched it off the far side wall. The Badgers fry tag, banked it ahead, reaching for it, Nick Mesner, the Madison kid. Mesner played 3 years for the Capitals. Out-muscled that time by Mark McLaughlin, but able to help keep it in the attacking zone. Now a turnover, Gorniak's got it. Swatted to the far wall. Gorniak goes to get it. Inamoto's shot. Oh, it blocked out in front by the defenseman Fitzgerald and trickled wide. Freitag was in the vicinity. And now it's played out to center ice.
There's one thing talking to all the coaches for Wisconsin that they like out of these young guys is just the competitive level that these bring. And not only on the ice, but they force everyone else above them, the juniors and seniors, to play at a different level too. When you got guys that are young and energetic, that compete, you better be ready. You might not make the lineup.
Right. Caulfield, nice pass to Dominic Mersch. His brother was an All-American in 2014. Michael, shot by Mersch, blocked by Moore. And now it's Michael Caro again up the far wing wall. Nice pass backside, Moore filling in. Good kick save. Barry kicked back towards the net by Ashan, and now Roman Ashan's got the puck. Excellent look backside, and that was a big save by Barry, his first of the night. Emerson dropped it at the blue line.
Never.
That's the second time we've seen a youngster leave it at the blue line. Now the Badgers dig it free. Nice play by Josh S. Malone now waddles his way into the offensive zone. Oh, he threw it off the side of the net. Now here's Wilt Johnson, pushed it wide right in front of the cage. Badgers keep it alive. Malone off the inboards. Johnson tracks it down. Back in the middle, Malone. He didn't see him. And now the puck off the stick of Zimmer and back out to neutral ice and then swatted down Wisconsin's way. 7 minutes left first period. We are scoreless and only 5 shots on goal combined. Zimmer one-hands one up intended for Malone. Knocked away. Miller felt someone coming and took a little bit of a bump from J.D. Dudek.
And he can feel that coming. That's a good hockey player right there. Being able to feel that pressure, knowing it, even though you don't get your head up.
Yep, Barry will cover up right alongside his net. Haven't had many chances tonight, but here's the best one for BC so far. Connor Moore, Jack Barry, big right pad save. We're scoreless here in Madison.
Back to the Cole Center. You're looking at Jerry York. Some would say he's the Johnny Woodner, the Dean Smith of college hockey. Again, Brian and Ringo told you the only guy ever to win over 1,000 games, 1,053. 586 of those have come in his 25 years at BC, and no one has gone to more NCAAs than Jerry York. 24 times he's coached a team to the NCAA. Ringo told you about his recent success at the Frozen Four. What you might not know is in 1982, when Bob Johnson decided to try pro hockey and went to Calgary, Jerry York was interviewed for the Wisconsin job. The three finalists then, Jeff Sauer, Rick Comley, and Jerry York, who met Elroy Hirsch and Otto Breitenbach over lunch at Blackhawk Country Club. Jerry said it was a very pleasant experience. Elroy and Otto hired Jeff Sauer. He won the title in '83. Jerry York stayed at Bowling Green. He won the title in '84. And right now, he's a 73-year-old guy and no doubt the best coach in college hockey over time.
No doubt about it. 41 NCAA wins to his credit. 4 national titles at BC. The one that he had at Bowling Green as well. And when you think of Jeff Sauer, he coached 2 national championship teams, and so did Rick Comley. One at Northern Michigan and one at Michigan State. So whoever Elroy was going to pick, he was going to get a good one.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, those are some of the best coaches that are in the game. And I tell you, I've had a good, like I say, meeting Coach York. That's just amazing. 1,053 and 73 years old. Look at him.
22 times he's had 25 wins or more. Oh, and he still plays golf. He said not as well as he'd like to, but still, he's just and he still relates to the young men too.
Yeah.
By the way, the winningest hockey coach of all time at any level is Scotty Bowman. 1,244 wins.
I have a feeling he's going to catch up. He's going to coach another 10 years.
Badgers bank it out to center. Won't be strong enough to ice the puck. Wisconsin will get the change it wanted, though, in the defensive pair of Casey Fitzgerald and Jesper Modula out on the ice now. Little collision in front of the Badger bench. Jack Gorniak and
Pop
Modula. Yeah, you'll like Jack Gorniak, number 11, out of West Salem, as I mentioned. Mr. Hockey in Wisconsin a year ago. 4th-round draft pick of the Montreal Canadiens. 31 goals, 61 points in high school. He was a USA Today first-team All-American. High school out of Wisconsin, first-team All-American.
Well, you watch him. He oozes talent, which is good.
Yeah.
But he's got his head up, and he thinks the game well. And anytime you got brains upstairs and your head and your vision's good, you're going to be all right.
The long-range shot's caught off by Barry, and the rebound kicked out, and Wisconsin's Mesner tackled the BC forward going for that rebound, and Wisconsin will be shorthanded. Less than 5 minutes to go in the first period. Mick Mesner, the former Madison Capital, will get the gate at 15-10.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mick, again, he's back checking, and when you play downhill a lot, that means your defensemen jump in the play, and all of a sudden you got to have back checkers. In this case right there, that's stick right between the legs. And one of the things, too, that shot by Wahlstrom, he was going far side, which allowed him to get that big rebound.
So the Badgers will be shorthanded when we come back. We have no score here in Madison. The Wisconsin Badgers and the Boston College Eagles on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Mick Mesner in the penalty box at 15-10 for tripping. So Boston College on its first power play, technically its second, but their first one lasted only 4 seconds. BC went 3 for 5 on the power play in its exhibition game against New Brunswick. And they've got some weapons. Here's one of them. Graham McPhee out to the point now. Michael Kim shot missed. McPhee's got it right wing. Around to the near side, intended for Cotton. He couldn't catch. Brown in the slot. Nice. Now it's flung out, nicely played by the Badgers all the way down. BC doesn't have its number 1 power play unit out there, but it's coming.
Yeah.
Here's more now. Right wing Brown off his stick. Inamoto cancels him out. And the Badgers get to the puck. Roman Ashan cannot. The other penalty killers, Jared Zerbel 28 with Tishke 6 and Inamoto 5. And that time Tishke just pitchforked that one into the benches, and a faceoff to come inside the Wisconsin zone.
And this is where Tischke shines.
Oh, yeah.
In front of the net, in the corners, battles one-on-one. And even though you're a man down, it does come into a lot of one-on-one battles, especially down low. That's where he's really good, being able to take away a guy's stick and make sure that he doesn't get an opportunity or a second chance.
BC won the draw. Here's Hutsko, and he's a good one, too. Logan Hutsko, 2 national championships at Shattuck St. Mary's, went on the national team program, set up far side. Wallstrom shot blocked by the captain, Tischke. And he felt that one right in the right leg, and he'll hop off the shelf onto the bench now. Here's Hutsko. Across the line, drop pass. Here's Matila, or Matila, beg your pardon. Jesper and Julius Matila. Julius, the centerman from Finland. Pass blocked. Point Fitzgerald. Kept it alive. Oh, they'll say it's offside. The puck kind of bounced up on edge, and it looked like Fitzgerald from our angle, Rob, kept it alive in the offensive zone. But Matt Gerlach, you know, he's got eagle eyes, and he called that one offside.
I think that was Shintani. It might have been Gerlach, but
oh, you might be right. Yeah.
But still, right there, that's.
Yeah, it came across.
I tell you, they're on the line.
Yeah, right.
If for Wisconsin they would have called that, I would have been barking at them.
Robert Shintani, Matt Gerlach, the linesman tonight. Stephen McKincheck and Barry Pachmara.
Good group of officials out there tonight.
Yep. BC into the attacking zone. Delaying with it is J.D. Dudek to the point Fitzgerald. Dudek lets it go to Hutsko. Dug out of there by the Badgers. Miller, and he lifted it off the glass, and that'll go down. And only 8 seconds left on the BC power play, and Wall will play keep away from Dominic Mersch. So no score here in Madison. Under 3 minutes to play, and both teams are at full strength.
You know, for a game that doesn't have a lot of shots on goal, it's actually been pretty entertaining up and down. Just not a lot of action in front of both nets.
Malone scooped it around near side. Johnson couldn't get there. It's Ole Wallstrom. Turnaround shot just missed the net off the end boards, and Barry will corral it there with Matila in the vicinity. A little pushing and shoving afterwards, but nothing to come of that. 6 shots on goal for BC, only 3 for Wisconsin, no score.
I think this is what, you know, when you start the season, there's an evolution of your team. You're going to start at one point, and hopefully you keep rising. Right. You're going to have some pitfalls along the way. And yet when you play a team like BC, I think that's a good thing. Like you say, if you play maybe a team like and I don't want to name anybody but maybe like an Alaska Fairbanks that just doesn't have the jam that a BC does, you got to play at a high level. And these games matter when it comes to looking at that NCAA tournament.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here's a little chip shot inside on Barry. Stopped, and then a rebound attempt that time by Tortora that he pushed wide. Unable to hold it in was Luke McGinnis. Wisconsin's Johnson able to get back onside. Nice. Little darting move by Seamus Malone. Comes in, tries to drag it towards the net. Got tripped up and lost the puck.
Like that idea, though. Instead of going around the net, go to the net. Dig in, get those edges in, and away you go.
Senior from Naperville, Illinois, Seamus Malone, the only other Badger with a letter on his sweater other than Peter Tischke. And I mean over the heart letter. C or A. Badgers. Baker has it. Weisbach wants it. Baker rises one. May have gone off the body of McGinnis and over the crossbar to the glass. Badgers hold his own. Tischke, his shot blocked down. BC's done a nice job blocking shots. Doogie centering pass, but Weisbach had cut down low. Went behind him. Badgers keep it alive. Move it nicely. Tischke. And a glove save made by Wall. He hangs on. But Baker and Doogie and Weisbach all around the net when Tischke let that shot go.
Yeah, I think he had an opportunity to give credit to the BC defenseman and getting back into position, taking away that passing lane from Baker. And then he decided to rip one, and I think it did hit the skate of the BC defenseman. There's one thing that Tony Granato likes, and I think all the coaches like for Wisconsin, is that they can roll 4 lines, and they actually have guys that are not playing tonight that they feel comfortable they could play. So again, last year you might have had to shift the bench around a little bit or tighten it up. This year I feel stronger that he can play 4 lines religiously, hopefully wear teams down as the game goes on.
Brown sweeps it deep. Barry stops and lifts it off the dasher down to the right wing where Brown collects it there. Back around it goes, and Gorniak, the first man to the puck for Wisconsin, taps back to Tischke.
Nice.
Gorniak with Mesner and Freitag. Miller, outlet Mesner, picked his head up before he caught the puck, and it trickles free to Kim, but he coughed it up to Freitag. He shot one off the side of the cage. Under a minute to play. Gorniak behind the back, tried to center, went off something, and back behind the net. Now Cotton's got it for Boston College. Kim wheels away from Freitag. Michael Kim out of Toronto, Ontario. Plus 28 the last 2 years. 47 points in his 3 years with BC. 13 All Hockey East last season. Here's Doogie looking. looking. Oh, he had Weissbach, but his pass went off the body. Baker tried to dig it free. Little cross check to the back of the BC forward. Cotton, who continues to battle Doogie. 20 seconds left. Goal line right. Weissbach. Here's Linus Weissbach. Pitch to pass out to S. He'll send it back deep. Not sure if the Badgers were aware of the time on the clock. Only 12 seconds left. Doogie on the forecheck. Puck settled down by BC's Fitzgerald. Aaron pass. Baker kept it alive. Turnaround shot blocked. And that'll do it for the opening period. 12 shots on goal combined, 7 for BC, just 5 for Wisconsin. Jack Berry made a couple of nice saves to keep this a scoreless game here in Madison. Wisconsin and Boston College have gotten this thing going here. The college hockey season is underway, and we're glad to have you here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Welcome back to the Kohl Center, where we're scoreless, BC and Wisconsin. I'm with Associate Head Coach Mark Osicki. You've seen him practice. You saw a scrimmage last week. Paced a little better today. What do you think of seeing your boys in action?
You know what? For our guys going out there with the young group that we have playing Boston College that has pretty good speed, it was a pretty good period. You know, there's some things that we can tweak. We could probably put a few more pucks at the net, try to make their defensemen turn a little bit and keep them from transitioning into the offense, but pretty good first period.
And Rob Andringa's back. He's your old roommate. He's going to cheap shot you all year. What do you think when you see Andringa back in the building?
Yeah, it's great to have him back here. He played a lot like all the BC defensemen. They like to get up in the play. He never played defense, so it's great to have him back.
Let's go have some fun out there.
All right, thanks, bro.
Ringo, Brian, it's all yours.
Turnaround shot by Zimmer blocked, and it caroms to the far side wall. It is great to have Rob Andringa back in the building and with us here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Longtime radio partner, too. He was with me at the Bradley Center in 06 when the Badgers won the last of their 6 national championships, and I know you're thrilled to be involved with this, too.
This is it brings me back to my roots, and even though I moved away and I went to the state of Minnesota, I wear my Badger red with pride and love to piss people off.
And you look good and feel good, huh?
Yep, I am. Yep, and this is as good a medicine as I'll ever have.
Tyler Inamoto, a head man to Doogie, redirects into the attacking zone. Good hustle by Moore to beat Wisconsin's Baker to the puck. Tark Baker had a surprisingly good freshman season. We knew he was a hard-working lad, but 10 goals, 21 points. He was +6 a year ago.
You know he does well, too. He learned to play the game the entire way.
With a turnover. Oh, a shot blocked. Kind of an on edge, and Sean couldn't get his stick clearly on the puck. BC ices it. Go ahead, Robbie.
No, Tarek Baker's learned to play 200 feet long, and knock on him. I think early on he's had so much skill as a young kid and able to do so many offensive things. Could that translate into the next level? And as we know, the college game, the next level is all about blocking shots and doing the little things, not just scoring goals. You add the goals on top of that, that's why he's going to be a good college player, and even potentially a player that can play at the next level.
Yeah, in fact, Baker went to the Vegas Golden Knights development camp as a free agent this year. That shot by Doogie, I thought he kind of fanned at the bouncing puck, but Michael Caro, the Green Bay native, got his stick in the way and prevented a shot on goal. Freitag missed the hip check that time on Greco, and that allowed BC to get it out to center. Like the way the Badgers have started this period, though, 2 minutes in.
I think they got their legs underneath them a little bit. Again, you got young players. They're going to be nervous that first, probably 10 minutes of the game. You're getting maybe 1 or 2 shifts.
Turnover now. Cotton behind the net. Put it in front. Goes off the stick of Jack Berry. Came free. Freitag's got a potential 3-on-2. Flip pass. Gorniak stays on his skates as he took a hit from Kim. Lost the handle. Got it back. Cycles around behind the nets. Freitag can't reach to play it cleanly. And now Moore's got it again for Boston College. The Eagles last year went 20-14-3, finished first in hockey's during the regular season, went 18-6 in conference play. Here comes Brock Caulfield with a chance. Oh, save made by Wall. He put his pads together. He snuck a beak over his right shoulder, but it was down in his lap, and he held on for a faceoff. But Brock Caulfield that time got a chance.
He was able to sneak behind the defenseman a little bit. Some changes going on for both teams, and able to get behind. Give credit to Kim, again, being able to get position on Caulfield. Caulfield had a step. Kim definitely took an opportunity to get into him just a little bit. Didn't hook, didn't hold, was able to disrupt him, and good play by Michael Kim.
Kalnick now with it. Shot went off his skate off the side of the net, and it bounces right in front, and then chipped past the defenseman Inamoto and gathered in by Cotton. Cotton toe pull. He shoots one. Oh, good left shoulder save made by Berry. Excellent play by David Cotton to get that shot off, and it was a good one. Now here's Brown for BC. To the point, and Kim. He puts one in front. That got through, and Barry had hit him in the right pad down by the skate. McGinnis holds it in and sweeps it around to Kim. He muffed it there at the blue line, though, and BC needs to touch up. Here's Cotton again with Kalnick on him. Wheels away from that pressure.
Jeez.
Cotton, holy cow, shot blocked. Kalnick turned his head. Took that one in the ankle.
Yeah.
Badgers now have it, though. Zimmer to center. Kim with a wild pass, and the Badgers will control from there. You know, you're talking about Michael Caro. You coached him with Team Wisconsin. Brock Caulfield played for Team Wisconsin as well. Spash High School up in Stevens Point. And a couple of years with the Green Bay Gamblers, 18 goals and 60 points a year ago for Brock Caulfield in Green Bay.
Again, good hockey mind. We talked about him earlier, and coming from that TW program, which has been one of the best programs for a long time. And it takes the top high-end players from high school, allows them to stay in high school and play a real elite level before and after the season is done. And clearly they've done a great job. And Brad Bice, you know, John Bice's brother's taking control of that and doing just a fantastic job with it.
Yep. Luke Strand was there for a long time. He's now coaching the USHL, former associate head coach here to Mike Eaves a couple of years ago. And now Sean Doogie and Christopher Grando need to be separated. Grando out of Islip, New York, former Green Bay Gambler, and Sean Doogie, all 5'3", 150 pounds of him.
Yeah.
The referees had to split those two up. Yeah, Doogie doesn't back down.
No. He plays, you know, open the entire way. He's a little shove there, a little nick there. Reminds me a lot like Tony Granato back when Tony was playing.
Oh, yeah.
Tony, not only was he talented, but he had a way to get under some guys' skins, and he had I think, a knife at the end of his stick sometimes. He carved a lot of guys, but he was a hell of a player, of course, as we all know.
Weisbach with a chance, and he fanned on it. Loose puck towards the slot and taken away by Logan Hutsko with Julius Modula and Oliver Wallstrom out there. Top line for BC. Left wing shot Caro. Stick save Barry, and he kind of covers it up right alongside the net, and he gets a face-off. About 4:43 into this second period. No score. Badgers, a couple of shots on goal in this period. BC's got one.
Going back to Sean Doogie, one of the things that I think has been missing is that competitiveness to the point where you're ticking people off a lot. You need that. Winning teams have guys on that team that do that. They just are gnats. They don't go away. They create a lot of problems for the other team because they take the mind away from maybe a player who's good. He's all worried about that guy's jabbing me or talking to me.
Right. Brian Wagner was that guy last year for the Badgers. 15 goals, 33 points, top scorer a season ago, but there weren't enough of them.
No. And your partner last year, Burish.
Oh, Adam Burish. Yeah.
One of the best, and a shout out to my man, Adam.
Here's Freitag now. Snapshot wall, easy save. Freitag went looking for a rebound and put the brakes on. BC players, they're obviously not happy with Freitag, but he tried to avoid the contact, and we've got a stoppage in play. Well, the Badgers trying to win their third straight season opener for head coach Tony Granato. They're firing a few more pucks at the BC net, but Joseph Wall standing tall, scoreless here in Madison. Obviously, a lot of us keeping an eye on Miller Park, game one of the National League Championship Series. Brandon Woodruff, relief pitcher, home run off Clayton Kershaw, 1-1 Brewers Dodgers in game one of the NLCS.
That's so awesome.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not only is that exciting for him, but how bad if you're Kershaw? How bad do you feel? Guy bats like 5 times a year and gets a dinger.
And a left-handed hitter at that. Now the Eagles and Badgers hugging it out right in front of the BC net. There's Dominic Mersch, 25. You got to get a close-up of Mersch's face, too. Dom's brother, Michael, as I mentioned earlier in the telecast, an All-American in 2014 when the Badgers were the #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Michael had over 100 points, back-to-back 20-goal seasons. Dom Mersch is a very good hockey player, and his smile is the best the Badgers have this year. Wait until you get a close-up of him, and hopefully we catch him smiling here soon.
Well, he definitely looks a lot like his brother. Not as tall, but skates so much better. Not to dish on Michael Mersch.
Yeah, right.
But He sometimes looked like a baby giraffe skating out there.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He got better.
He got better. He's been with the LA Kings organization for a long, long time. Sean misfires on a pass to the point for Kalnick, and that forces Barry out of his net. He'll scoop it around and turn it over right wing. He tried to get it to Kalnick, but too hot to handle. BC then throws a wild pass out to center ice.
That's one area that, again, you can get gray hairs if you're a coach of having that goaltender move that puck. And you got to have a great awareness of where players are. And Barry just threw it around the wall, hoping that a Badger player would be there. Can't do that. You're going to get nailed on those a couple times.
Caulfield's shot went wide. Badgers force it back deep. Now taken away by McPhee. His outlet pass to Tortorella off the stick of Tischke. Now to Will Johnson. Johnson, backhand goal line, wanted to put it in front, elects to hang on to it. Now to the point, Tischke moving it quickly. Here's Miller, he scores!
Well, give credit to Will Johnson, bringing this puck all the way in his zone, finding some space. I thought he was going to make a chance to maybe cut in, but he went all the way around the net, got it to Tischke. Tischke right up to Miller, and then Bonnie's in front. Goaltender basically take his eyes away. I think that was Zimmer in front. This is why he's the #1 draft pick. See his head up the entire time from right where he was. Seamus Malone in front doing the dirty work. I love that. But good players had their head up about 90% of the time, and that's why he was able to get that shot off.
And you mentioned Malone. You saw Wall look to his right, had to come around him to the left, and the shot came back to his right. And Keandre Miller scores the first goal of the season for the Badgers at 13:43. Peter Tischke and Will Johnson with the helpers. And Wisconsin on the board here first this season.
This is what Tony Granato, I think, wants to see is his young players get engaged early on, not only engaged with the season. So by the time you're playing in January and February, these guys are already seasoned. And to give them credit, they played on the USA team with Emerson and Miller. Those guys play a heavy schedule, so they got a lot of competition underneath them.
Miller scored 9 goals in 58 games for the under-18 team a year ago. Minnetonka, Minnesota native. 2 years with the national team program. And keep in mind, this young man, Keandre Miller, has only played defense for a little over 2 years. And he's just going to get better. The sky's the limit for Mr. Miller.
Yeah, no, you talk to a lot of scouts, and they all love everything about him. He's athletic, he's tall, can skate. Of course, got the game with his hands and his eyes and thinks the game. But where he's going to get good here is he's got Mark Losicki, Mark Strobel, 2 great defensemen here at the Badgers, being able to teach him the ins and outs of the game and positioning and sticks where they need to be in certain places.
Pass intended for Grando, intercepted. Badgers have the puck. Baker wheels around in the neutral zone, gets knocked down from behind by Walker. Nothing called. Baker wants it back. Pass by Weissbach off his skate. Now out to the point. It's Josh S. to Doogie. Nice. Open ice. He shoots, and that went off the body, and Wall went diving for it to his right. May have gotten a piece of it. Chipped in front by Weissbach. No one home for the Badgers. Good work by Josh S., who last year missed the final 4 games of the season because of an injury. And really, the Badgers were struggling before he went out. He got hurt in a game in which Wisconsin lost its 2nd straight. They went on to lose 4 more after that and finished the season with a 6-game losing streak.
Talking to the coaches, again, like Mark Losicki especially, that was one area that they felt really hurt them down the stretch. Yep. Not having number 20 out there.
And he led the defenseman last year in plus-minus at +10. Chicago Blackhawks 7th round draft choice. Delayed penalty coming up against Boston College. Badgers are going to get a power play. Barry empties his net, and now BC's Mottala touches the puck, and Wisconsin will have a man advantage, leading 1-0 here in the 2nd period, and they're going to skate Christopher Grando to the box for roughing.
Yeah, he's not happy with the call, but I'm not sure if it's going to be this play right here. I think he gets the hands up real high. And you could probably argue on the case that they get the hands up right by the face. You lead kind of with your hands. They're going to call that maybe an elbow.
Right.
I think he called it a roughing, if I don't believe. But you can make the argument that, come on now. But if you lead with your shoulder versus your hands, that's where you're going to get the opportunity to have the referee look at it differently. But you lead with those hands every time, probably going to get a call out of something.
BC shorthanded with the puck. Here's Jesper Mottala. His pass intended for his brother, Julius Mottala. He fanned at the shot. Seamus Malone carried into the offensive zone and got stopped. And That freed the puck for Jesper Modela, who swings it all the way around. And there goes his brother after the puck again. Modela's everywhere. Badgers trying to dig it free. Excellent penalty killing
nice
by
job.
the BC Eagles. Yeah, Jesper Modela from Finland played in the World Junior Tournament in 2017. Led the Eagles with 13 goals a year ago after scoring A's as a freshman. Badgers Kalnick holds the zone. Kalnick open man. Weisbach pass kind of handcuffed him a bit, but the Badgers now control. Wisconsin 2 for 3 on the power play against Victoria on Sunday. Last year about 18% conversion rate, but only 12% over the last 16 games last season. That partly led to their downfall. Malone, Kalnick, head and shoulder fake back to Malone. Good pressure by BC. Badgers worked on this in practice all week. The Eagles will pressure on the penalty kill. Lead feed Kim breaking in on Miller. Backhand shot. Oh, big left hand save by Jack Barry. Michael Kim, the defenseman, with a bust out, and Barry stoned him with his left pillow.
And I think one of the problems was Kim was coming from the left side, and he kind of basically said, here's where I'm going. I'm going to go to my backhand and flip it to you.
Barry could read it.
Yeah. Good anticipation by Barry.
Second power play unit out now. Baker. Freitag. Between the legs pass. Not enough on it. Intended for Zimmer. And BC throws it all the way down and into the protective netting. Then dropping behind the glass and down in front of the student section. Face off all the way back in the Boston College zone.
Yeah, it's just a simple move. Puck's also rolling, so he didn't really get to go upstairs like he probably wanted to.
Right.
Get head down, though. That's one of the keys right there. Again, I think great goal scorers, and Kim's a defenseman. Great goal scorers, they have their head up. And I'm going to say it a lot this year. You watch goal scorers, yeah, you can have your head down once in a while, but when I scored all my goals,
they were up.
Always up.
Because you wanted to see the twine.
Exactly. Ripple.
Ripple, right?
That's a big word.
It is. It's actually only 6 letters. 2 P's right together.
Babar.
Puck goes off his stick and out of play. So the Badgers get the first goal of the season. It comes from freshman defenseman and first-round New York Rangers draft choice Keandre Miller. Halfway through at the Kohl Center, 1-0 Badgers. You know, we mentioned Dominic Mersch, his older brother Michael, second-team All-American in 2014. There have been 18 different pairs of brothers to skate for the Wisconsin Badgers. Dominic and Michael, Jason and Sean Dookie. Jason a healthy scratch. Rob and Jeff Andregas. Jeff was the better of the 2 brothers. Then Don Robb and Tony Granato. A lot of points scored there. Same with Mark and Peter Johnson. You think about the Sooners, who combined for 700 penalty minutes, and not there were the Johansson brothers, Jim and John, who played 278 games, 207 goals, 415 points, and 180 penalty
They
minutes.
use their sticks extremely well, did the Johansson brothers.
Johansson, Warren,
700 minutes for the Sooners.
I know.
Goodness gracious.
Bobby had 357.
No, 377.
Oh, that's Jason Zent.
Nope,
Number
that's
1.
Bob.
Nope. I'll bet you a shiny dime.
Oh, you got it. I'll bet you on this one,
shiny
brother.
dime, baby.
I know my record book.
Okay. Badgers with their first goal of the season from Keandre Miller. I mentioned Jim Johansson's number was 11. Jack Gorniak wears 11 now for the Badgers. He's out there in this 5-on-5 with Mick Mesner and Jared Zerbel. Bouncing puck. Emberson's got it. Tried to flip it ahead and did to Gorniak. Knocked down Zerbel. BC's got the puck. Tischke and Johnson assisted on Miller's goal at 13:43. Intercepted at the blue line. Hutsko dances in. Backhand shot saved by Barry. May have gone off the top of his stick. He lost his stick. S gives him his, and BC holds the zone. Good crushing check by Inamoto to win the puck free, and it trickles out to center. That should allow soon Barry to pick up his stick, but instead he elects to stick with S's stick. Cutting in Hutsko, excellent move, and he got held up by Inamoto as he tried to get the shot off, and now Boston College will go on a power play.
Yeah, kind of sloppy hockey by the Badgers, and give credit to Boston College. They took charge and transitioned the Badgers extremely well. When you're playing catch-up, you got a guy gunning. Usually you have one hand on your stick. You might put that, and you try to leverage that stick some way, shape, or form. That's what BC does. Transition hockey is one of their strengths, always has been.
Inamoto gets the penalty.
That's good strength there by Hutsko, not going down and after he's getting pushed.
Yep. You were right. Bob Suter 377, but Jason Zent had 397. That's my fault. So I was kind of right, but wrong.
Zenner had a lot of misconducts in there. I don't count those. Bobby had a lot of 2, 2, and 2.
Here's a
hat trick.
Saved by Barry off the stick of Wallstrom. Oh, good play by Jared Zerbel, reading that pass out of the corner by Modula and then clearing it all the way down.
Talk about Zerbel again. He's the last forward, so he's probably not getting a regular shift. But you better be ready. That's the next man up, let's call it.
And that's redirected by Wallstrom accidentally over the glass and out of play. Zerbel last year played 16 games his junior season, 2 goals and 5 points.
Good look at Wallstrom again. It's one of those kids that he's going to get a lot of ice time, and again, sometimes you just don't notice him out there, but that doesn't mean he's not playing well. Because all it takes is a quick second. Puck's on his stick. I watched him in warm-ups. Shoots the puck extremely hard but quick. His release is quick.
Yeah.
Boom. Doesn't put that stick all behind him. It's right up in front. And man, he gets all of it.
Bad pass. Redirect pass now. Mersch intended for Caulfield, and he'll chase it down. Centering pass goes off a skate towards the net. Hits the bottom of the cage. And now BC's got it. Badgers shorthanded for another minute. 1-0 Wisconsin. Wallstrom tried to dangle through 3 Badgers. No luck there. Chipped out to center ice. Mesner in pursuit. And we've got a whistle and an interference penalty on Jesper Modula. And so the Badgers will get at even strength here for the next 51 seconds. Then back on the power play. Good hustle that time, forcing that penalty. Mick Mesner on Julius Modula.
That's the competitiveness of the freshman class, but especially Mick Mesner. That's what he's going to bring. He's not going to be fancy out there, number 12, the Madison native, but what he's going to get, he's going to grind, he's going to work, he's going to be a penalty killer. Going to work his way into those probably scoring chances down the road, but he's going to give you a quality shift every single time.
Mick Mesner, 3 years with the Madison Capitals, 16 goals, 45 points a year ago. Also played high school hockey at Madison West. His family has a number of Wisconsin grads. Icing called on BC. His grandfather, Gary, played football back in the 50s, and his aunt was a swimmer at Wisconsin.
Great athletic family.
Yep. Sarah was swimming, I think, for Randy Jablonec, if I'm not mistaken. Face off to the left of the goaltender Joseph Wall, who's been beaten once tonight. That was by Keandre Miller at the 13:43 mark of this period. So 4-on-4, who's got the advantage here? You would think with BC's history of speed and quickness, it would be them.
Yeah, and also too,
Wallstrom fanned the shot and then get planted to the ice by Ty Emberson. A couple of former national team development program teammates.
I don't know if there's really you would think maybe the experience side of BC having some older guys, but in 4-on-4 gives you a lot of space and creativity.
Yep.
I hated 4-on-4.
You weren't that creative then?
Well, that and just it's open the ice. You had to skate more.
So you're saying you were lazy?
Oh, 3-on-3 was even worse.
Kim tees one up, missed the net. Badgers back at full strength on a power play. Oh, behind everybody was Johnson, but the aerial feed didn't get through. And then it's chipped back into the Wisconsin zone by the Eagles, and Linus Weissbach goes to get it. Weissbach can fly, and nifty skater. Good hands, too. Here's Miller now. Drops off Kalnick. Blue line Johnson directs it into the offensive zone, but no one there to support, and BC sends it back to neutral ice. Miller now ahead to Weissbach. Across the line comes Malone. Very good puck handler Malone. Out to Kalnick. Oh, big bad save by Wall on the blast by Kalnick. Johnson back to Miller. Here's Kalnick again. Finds Weissbach slowly to Kalnick. Now Miller, his shot. Oh, it kind of fluttered in. And Johnson took a swing and missed. Miller again with it. They love him on the right side of this power play with Malone in the middle, kind of working as a pseudo quarterback, if you will, an option quarterback with Kalnick out high, and then Weisbach on the strong side wing.
Well, Kalnick's your quarterback on that power play. There's no doubt. But you can switch him, and sometimes that confuses some of the penalty killers of what they're trying to do or what they're trying not to give up. So why not?
I guess my point with Malone, he's so good with the puck, and he has such great vision. If he gets the puck in the slot area, he can look to shoot, but still has 2 more men to pass to. So it's almost like a half quarterback, if you will. Lead feed, Freitag can't catch. Badgers Emberson now has it. He'll fire it in, but the lone man near side is Kim, although he was fumbling and fumbling with the puck. Couldn't clear. Chipped alive, kept alive. Badgers Freitag finally worked it to the near wall. Not much time left on this. BC back at full strength. Obviously, Wisconsin is too, so the power play is long expired, and Badgers trying to dig it free. Both teams are 0 for 3 on the power play. There's only 2 teams playing tonight. Not normally 3 at one time. Rising shot by Walker. This is
what's in your cup over there?
Not what I need. Here's Gorniak across the line. Looking, stops, open, man. Here's a shot by Zimmer. Stop, rebound, he scores! On the far side that put it home. It deflected off someone, maybe Wall, and in. Mick Mesner, the Madison kid, gives Wisconsin a 2-0 lead.
And I think Boston College is going to maybe question this to see if it was goaltender interference, but give credit. Again, good puck movement. Again, look at this play right there by Jack Gorniak, stopping, letting the play develop. And I don't think that's interference at all. I think it was just a good play by Matthew Freitag.
Right. And yeah, the defenseman was laying on top of the right pad of Joe Wall. It actually hit the shin pad of the defenseman and came back.
Yeah, no, it's a good goal. Yeah. Again, that's the Gorniak play right there. That's what's going to make him a difference maker.
2 rookies with their first goals as Badgers. Pass by Ashawn off the stick out to Tischke. His shot hit the near post. You can hear the ring up here. Now Boston College with a puck. Lead feed. It looked like Hutsko was behind Tischke. He was offside anyway, so they have to touch up, and the Badgers have the puck. Lead feed. Caulfield apparently he got his stick on it, so no icing on Wisconsin. Banked out to center. And the puck sent back into the BC zone. So Mesner from Gorniak, long range shot by BC. Barry gloves, and he elects to hang on. So Keandre Miller scored at 13:43. And then it's Mick Mesner at 4:02. Got the shot back after his original attempt and able to beat Joseph Wall. The Badgers have a 2-0 lead here in Madison. Pride of Madison West High School, Mick Mesner with his first goal as a Badger, and he stuck with it.
Yeah, he did. He didn't lose track of it. Put it back on net. Give credit to Matthew Freitag. Again, creating. Usually when goals are scored like that, it's because people are around the net.
BC with the puck. Oh, a shot by Fitzgerald. He fanned on it. Johnson chipped it ahead too far for himself and Seamus Malone. BC sends it back to neutral ice. Looks like Brown able to get a piece of it, so no icing on the Eagles. So we talked about it at the outset, Robbie, what the coaching staff was hoping to get from this freshman class. Energy and brings some skill, and we've seen it so far.
Yep. This group could score. There's no doubt. It's just a matter of, can you rely on freshmen to be 15, 20 goals? You can't. But if you have 3 or 4 that do 10.
Right. Baker, here's Zimmer. His shot stopped by Wall, and he hangs on. A little shoving after the whistle, and that'll be separated. Yep. I mentioned, Joseph Wall's a 3rd-round draft pick of Toronto a couple of years ago. He's on the watch list for the Mike Richter Award, among the top 20 goaltenders in the country. Team MVP last season. In Hockey East play, he had a .922 save percent. I mean, he was really good, but the Badgers beat him 5 times on 22 shots last October 13th and beat them in Boston 5-2. So Wisconsin's had success against Wall before, but not the 2 guys that scored tonight.
Go figure, right?
Right. Eagles have the puck. Wanting it was Wallstrom. Teammate couldn't get it to him, but McPhee with a beautiful skating move around Josh Hess. And now Weissbach, who's not known for his physicality, put his shoulder in one of the BC players and freed the biscuit. Nice play by Linus Weissbach. Yugi trailing, lost the puck. Here's McPhee now. His shot low to the ice and sticked out of play by Jack Barry. And a face-off to come inside the Wisconsin zone. Under 2 minutes left in the second period. It's 2-0 Badgers.
And shots on goal, 15 for BC, 14 for Wisconsin. You would probably argue that Wisconsin's had the better of the chances, even though BC had a breakaway at one point. Again, this is, I think, if you're going into the locker room, you're Wisconsin, you got to feel pretty good as a coaching staff about what you're seeing. And you're getting some production, well, not just goals, but you're getting quality time in certain zones, namely the offensive, defensive zones. You got to be solid in those areas, and then hopefully you win the battle of the transition game.
I mentioned Wisconsin won at BC last year. They met at the Kohl Center a couple of years ago. Tony's first season. Badgers won 3-1, then lost 8-5. But the highlight of that 8-5 loss was the dangle between the legs roof shot goal by Cameron Hughes that was #1 on SportsCenter's top 10. You may remember that. And the last time the Badgers had beaten BC in Wisconsin prior to that game 2 years ago.
National
championship.
Last
year
right?
was the national championship, 06 at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee.
Oh, was that a fun night?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Still remember you queuing up Joe Pavelski's post-game interview that we wanted to do live, but we did it on tape. And Robbie ran upstairs from the ice and said, okay, I've got Joe Pavelski. He's first one. Okay, all right. And you go, all right. All right, here's Joe Pavelski, 3, 2, 1. You count down to interviews and you pause the recorder so then you can play the interview right away. So, all right, here's Joe Pavelski, 3, 2, 1. So I stop it during the commercial break, and then as we come back from break, Badgers win national title. Down to the ice, Rob Andringa with Joe Pavelski. I lift up, pause, and here comes Pavelski. Well, Joe, congratulations. What's this like? This is bleep, bleep, bleep. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the bleep. I didn't know what was coming because I didn't listen to the interview. No, you can't say that on the air. Let's do that again. Joe Pavelski, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's why I'm not doing radio anymore.
I thought I was going to lose my FCC license.
Yeah.
Under a minute to play. Kalnick trying to sweep it free. Inamoto as well. Oh, nice work by Logan Hutsko, who I mentioned before. I like this young man. Hockey East Rookie of the Year last year. 12 goals, 31 points. He had 7 shots on goal against the Badgers in that game in Boston last year. Had a helper. Here's Wallstrom now. Slowed by Malone, who just got in his way.
Nice job.
Decided just to throw it down the ice. Oh, and now a centering pass. Wallstrom wide open. Tries to settle the puck down and then took a swing as it bounced around and Barry kicked it out. Johnson picked the pocket of Wallstrom. 3-2 Badgers. Here's Johnson. Left wing Zimmer. Back Johnson redirected it just over the top of the nets. Good pass by Zimmer too, and Johnson got his stick on an angle to the ice and just lifted it a bit too high. And now the Eagles took exception to something there, and the referees have to separate the combatants. So Keandre Miller, his first goal as a Badger came at 13:43, and then Mick Mesner, his first goal as a Badger came at 4:02. After 2 periods in Madison, Wisconsin leads BC 2-0.
Welcome back to the Kohl Center. We're about to start the third period. I'm with Mark Strobel, the associate head coach at Wisconsin. You got to be pretty happy. You get 2 goals from freshmen, and you're up going against a pretty good club.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good club. It's been a fast game. Really like how we're playing offensively and our ozone movement, where our young guys have really sparked us with their footwork and their stick on puck and their compete. So that was a good period for us.
And obviously, if you're going to have a good year, you got to learn how to shut teams down. You got to lead in the third period. Was that part of the message in the locker room?
Yeah, for sure. I thought we did a good job there in the first 2 periods of tracking pucks through the neutral zone with numbers and not giving up odd number rushes. They're a fast team. They want to look to break, for a little 2-1, 3-2 odd man rush. And if we got guys tracking back and we outnumber them, especially through the neutral zone and our zone, we'll be just fine.
Robbie, thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Up to you, Brian. Robbie?
Thank you very much. Bill, thanks a lot. By the way, last year was last year. I understand that. But there were Oh, a number of instances a year ago where the Badgers had the lead or were tied or down a goal in the third period and failed to win. And I want to say it was on 26 different occasions where they won 7 of those occasions. And so they were in virtually every game last year and still finished 5 games under 500. Here they've got a 2-0 lead against Boston College. How do they hang on to that?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it is you've got to play through the moment. So you got to learn and build on what you learned from last year. And so I know there's a lot of newcomers here, but I think that's what you're talking about if you're Tony Granato, that this is a different season. This is a different year. And I believe the competitive level is different, and that's where it really stems from.
Badgers in on the attack. Peter Tischke with Keandre Miller. Johnson replaces Tischke at the right point as a defenseman, so to speak. And now a bouncing shot off the stick and came in on Barry and out of his glove, and then he put it down and calmly covered it up.
And I think there's a winning attitude that you grow up with, and not everyone has it. You know, look at our team in 1990, and you know, we had a lot of guys that did not like to lose, whether it was a hockey game or playing cards or playing basketball or doing something stupid, you know, dodgeball. I mean, we hated to lose. You know, that attitude feeds into itself, and pretty soon other guys grab onto it and you hold it. This is what I see from that young group. You know, guys that compete, push the older guys to play better and be better. It's going to translate into more wins.
Yep. Tischke, outlet Miller, slowly slides it ahead. Baker to Weisbach, looking. Oh, pass for Doogie. He had beaten Tortora down the ice, but the pass behind Doogie, and BC will dump it down in. Miller didn't recognize initially that he had a forechecker flying at him, but got there in time, and the Badgers bust out. Baker. Little escape move on the left wing. Good sauce pass backhand. Weisbach muffed it a bit, but now has possession. Kalnick, his shot blocked. Didn't get a lot on it. Greco. Moore. And now Tortora dumps it in. Barry sends it to Kalnick, who almost hit the multi-million-dollar scoreboard with his clearing attempt. A little lob pass ahead that time for Mick Mesner.
Had some height on it.
Tortora now stops. Good pass, McPhee. Changed by Boston College. Blocker save made by Barry. Here's Josh S. with it now. S. No icing. He took a check from Kim. Not a full blow, but able to dump it down in. Now the puck settled down by Mark McLaughlin out of North Billerica, Massachusetts, and he came flying into the high slot and got a shot off, went off the stick and out of play.
He came out of nowhere, and give credit to Emberson having a stick in the right spot, and that's what Marco Sique talked about that earlier, and Strobel will be able to teach those young defensemen is where to position those sticks when you got guys coming on there, know what hand they are, because you got to quick make a decision. We're going to see number 10 jump in the play here. Again, just have a stick right there out inside, one hand on it, boom, put it in a spot where guys got to go over it.
Oh, a shot out high that went off McLaughlin as Barry reached to his left with his glove, and it skipped back to his right. BC holds the zone. Cotton. Angled pass near side now. Kim right into the belly of Barry, and he hangs on. Another face-off to come. 2-0 Badgers. Goals by a pair of rookies, Keandre Miller and Mick Mesner in the second period.
Good save by Barry. And again, he hasn't had to make too many great saves, but what I like about him tonight is he seems real confident in his net. He's on that top side of the blue, got out there, got his shoulders square, elbows in, make sure nothing go underneath those elbows. And granted, it hit him in the belly, but just to see him comfortable with his movements in the net has got to be assuring to the coaches that maybe he's starting to, you know, get in a rhythm.
Yeah. Keep in mind, you know, as a freshman, Barry became the #1 goaltender late in the year. Matt Jerusik had some struggles on the ice, and they allowed Barry to play, and he led them all the way to the championship game of the Big Ten tournament, where they lost in double overtime to Penn State 2-1.
Yeah.
And so they almost got into the NCAA tournament riding Jack Barry, the freshman goaltender at the time. Last year he wasn't completely healthy. He had a bad back, eventually had surgery during the offseason. At times he was really, really good. And so now he's in as a junior. And keep in mind, too, that last year, Kyle Hayton, the graduate transfer from St. Lawrence, came in and was handed the starting goaltender's job. So Barry immediately became a backup, and he knew it. Here's a backhand shot. That's a waffled away that time off the stick of Walker. But he fought through it. There's another save as he fought through the screens in front of him. Jack Barry doing a nice job He's got 21 stops tonight. And the Eagles still flying, and that time Berry with a glove save on the long-range shot by Fitzgerald, and he hangs on. So now he knows it's his if he can play consistently, and that's what it comes down to, consistency.
One thing that's going to help him, I just saw it right here, was the ability for the defenseman to do their job, which is clear lanes in front of Berry to see it. You're going to see this play. Watch number 19, Miller. See his job of pushing that player away so Berry can get into his proper position to see that puck. Badgers scored their first goal because the goaltender could not see anything. That's why it's critical to have defensemen that know what they're doing, know how to play that position, not just move the puck or go up in the play. Play it cerebral. Know where you need to put guys, know what side you need to be on and what side you need to get off.
Badgers win the draw. Kalnick with the puck. Headmans to Gorniak. Tapped ahead to Freitag. Caro got in his way, but Gorniak follows up and sends it deep. Mesner, who scored the second goal tonight, his first as a Badger. Kalnick, wrist shot, got through Wall, juggles the rebound. Where is it? It's still loose in the slot. Rising shot by Freitag. He missed the net. Oh, Wall had it initially and then just fumbled it. Nice pass, Gorniak, and that's denied by Wall as it bounced free, and Freitag with a backhander. Now a turnaround shot out high, and Wall gloved it and just settles it down. He hangs on. Now Mesner mixing it up with Connor Moore. Now, we've talked about these young men as far as the energy they have, but they are gritty and won't back down. Gorniak and Freitag, a couple of chances there, and Freitag missed the net. Matthew last year had 9 goals, 20 goals in 86 career games, and he had a golden opportunity there.
He can shoot the puck too, Freitag can.
Yeah.
A heavy shot, but also really good quickness off that draw as well. Can get it upstairs tight like that. That's not easy for a lot of players. You think, well, that's what they do all day. Well, no, it's not. You got guys on you and tight like that. It's tough to get it upstairs.
Yeah, unless you're Danny Heatley.
He's okay.
He was all right.
Yeah.
He was all right. Freitag scored a goal against BC in last year's 5-2 win in Boston. Dominic Mersch took a hit, knew it was coming, spinning pass to the tape of Roman Ashan's stick. Oh, a pass for the cutting Caulfield too far in front of him. That could have been a beautiful 2-on-1, and Ashan that time just misfired on his feed to Caulfield.
Well, that play was made by Mersch in the zone, made a nice read on how to break that puck out. He knew there was pressure coming along the wall. Did a little quick turn, got the puck out to the middle, and away they went. Really a 3-on-2 was that play, how it developed. You see the back guy right there. Oh, that would have been nice. You had both, not only Caulfield on the backside, but I think the defender coming on in.
Seamus Malone talking with one of the linesmen, Matt Gerlach. Now they'll drop the puck to the left of Joseph Wall. Johnson goes to get it, thought about playing it to the point, thought better of it and sent it down in. Spun around to the far side by Mottala. It eludes Cotton and slides into the Wisconsin zone. Ty Emberson there. Emberson, third-round draft choice of the Arizona Coyotes this year. WIAA Defensive Player of the Year for Eau Claire Memorial back in 2016. Then went to the National Team Development Program for a couple of years and had 27 points last season. Here's Malone. Tries to dangle the defenseman, pitched it towards the front of the net. Zimmer was cutting there, but it never got through. And then Zimmer just got cross-checked from behind by Fitzgerald, but we play on. Cotton's pass intercepted to the stick of Zimmer. Wanted to get it deep and kind of flub the puck, but Baker in on the forecheck and puts his shoulder into Mottala.
That's the difference this year from prior years. You're going to see 4 lines play deep into the periods, especially in the third. Fresh guys always have fresh legs then, you know.
Baker, with help from Miller, takes the puck away. Doogie shoulder to shoulder with a defenseman who stood up there. Almost poked it off the stick of Grando. Pass cross ice off the back skate of Weissbach. He's got it now. His shot off the stick and wide. Baker tried to refeed Doogie, but the two did not connect. And now it's Michael Caro. Here's Boston College's Dudek, and his shot calmly waffled aside by Berry. They tried to dump back in, and they messed it up, and Baker's got the puck 2-on-1 with Weissbach. He'll shoot one off the webbing of Wall's glove. It bounced back to Baker, and his backhand shot kicked out by Wall.
Nice saves.
Here's BC's defenseman Caro again, 1-on-2, and he almost slid a backhander underneath Berry. In fact, it's underneath his right pad, but he kept it out of the net. The Green Bay native Michael Caro was that, oh, beg your pardon, Christopher Grando. I thought it was Caro, beg your pardon, but Grando came flying in, and Barry held his ground, got his pad down in time to keep it a 2-0 Wisconsin lead here halfway through period number 3. Badgers lead BC 2-0. Wisconsin finished 6th in the Big Ten last season and picked by league coaches to finish 6th again. No surprise there, Rob.
Yeah, no. I mean, this Big Ten literally could have 6 teams legitimately in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, yeah. And could have had 5 last year. Minnesota got knocked out on the final day of the regular season.
By Duluth, who wins it.
Yeah, because everything that had to go wrong for Minnesota went wrong, and the Gophers didn't get in. Don Lucia, that was his swan song, and now St. Cloud State's Bob Motzko is the head coach at Minnesota, and his team, the Huskies, were the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament last year and got bounced right away.
Well, the thing that I've always said, and you can relate this to football, basketball in the conference, you know, you have to have good coaching, and not just, you know, the X's and O's, but you have to be able to recruit. And when you get that, all of a sudden, things start to elevate. Look at the Big Ten football. All of a sudden, you get a Harbaugh, you get Urban Meyer, and all of a sudden, Franklin, and pretty soon, the Big Ten has talked a lot about, like, the SEC.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what the Big Ten Hockey Conference has. You have Jeff Jackson at Notre Dame. You have Mel Pearson out at Michigan. Tony Granato here.
Steve Rollick at
Ohio State.
Danton Cole at Michigan State's doing an excellent job there.
But Motzko going to Minnesota, and again, I think you need the traditional teams to be good. I hate to say it, you know, because I'm not a fan of Minnesota, but I tell you, you need them to be good. You need Michigan to be good, and it just makes for better hockey. And what the fans want to see is high-quality talent that can play at a high level.
Ohio State, Notre Dame, Michigan all made the Frozen Four a year ago. Oh, Sean did a nice job stepping in on Wallstrom and forcing that turnover. Here's Dominic Mersch, finds a trailer. Mersch got level. Caulfield rises a shot wide.
I think Wallstrom's going to get a penalty on that hit.
Delayed one coming up. And Barry's out of his net for an extra attacker. Stepping in S. His shot blocked, and BC possesses, and the whistle blows, stopping play. And now Wallstrom and Sean going at it, and they need to be separated. Roman Ashawn, the Badgers freshman from Savage, Minnesota, and Oliver Wallstrom out of Quincy, Mass. Something got going there that Wallstrom did not like, and the Badgers are going to get a power play for it.
I think it's going to be on the hit on Mersch.
He left his feet.
Yeah, you can't do that. You see him come right here. He's got him lined up at the trolley tracks. Yep.
Wow. And who got the worst of it, though?
I don't know. I'd think looks like Wallstrom got the worst of it, but you can't leave your feet. That is a no-no. But he had him lined up, and those are the ones you get a little excited when you got a guy in the trolley tracks. He can't go left or right.
Right. Well, the referees are going to take a look at video replay, and this season a new rule instituted in NCAA hockey allows referees to look at video replay to determine if a player should be or should not be ejected for a penalty on the ice.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're going through right now, is to determine whether or not Wallstrom did something that warrants a 5-minute major in a game misconduct.
Off of that, what I see, I don't think it does.
If he hit him clean in the head, that's one thing, but it didn't look like.
It didn't look like he targeted him. And, I'd say play on, put him 2 minutes in the box, and away you go. I think that's one thing with sports now. You get people all riled up because it's a hard hit.
Right.
But definitely don't want to see guys leaving their feet to hit anybody. But,
Let's get back to the Big Ten for a moment, too. We were talking about the preseason poll and the fact that Notre Dame and Ohio State and Michigan all made the Frozen Four. Ohio State, the preseason #1 team in the country, according to U.S. College Hockey Online. Well, Ohio State is playing at Arizona State this weekend. Michigan, which lost its season opener to Vermont last week 5-2, lost at home to the United States under-18 team tonight 6-3. Jack Hughes had a goal and 2 assists for Team USA. He's committed to Michigan. Many believe he's going to go and play pros right away. His younger brother Quinn, or older brother Quinn, is a stud for Michigan. And then Minnesota opened up with Bob Motzko as head coach last week, tied defending national champion Duluth 1-1, and then won on Sunday at Mariucci 7-4. Matt Robson had 42 saves in that Sunday win, and Sampo Ranta, who originally committed to Wisconsin and signed a national letter of intent but could not get into school, ended up with the Golden Gophers in August, and he scored a goal in each of Minnesota's first 2 games.
That's going to bother me, the fact that we couldn't get Ranta into school, and I know there's levels that you want to keep and whatnot, but that's something. It's going to be a problem if you can't go after certain kids, and this was just more of an international issue and things that he needed to get done and whatnot. But the Big Ten Hockey Conference is legit.
Oh yeah,
no doubt. And I know a lot of people gripe about this or that or that. We don't get to see North Dakota. We don't see Denver. But guess what? You're going to see a lot of good players come through. This year might be the best year for Big Ten hockey. And I remember the first year that we had, it was pretty good then, but this will be the best year.
One more point about Sampo Ranta. Here's an interception by Modula on his backhand on the penalty kill. Really can't do much with it, and he tried to get it across ice, didn't muscle it enough, but BC has the puck. And really with Cole and Christian Krieger, who committed to Wisconsin and went to Michigan State, that's all fine and good. But in my opinion, it would be nice if a conference had the same standards for every school across the board.
Yeah. How do you go to Penn State, or how can you go to Minnesota?
Here's BC shorthanded, looking for the first goal tonight, and Barry denied the long-range shot. And now here comes Wisconsin's Weissbach. 3-on-3. Weissbach flip back trailer count. Open man Johnson. He banded the shot. Backhand now. Didn't get to the net. Now it's pitched out of harm's way and out to center ice. Will Johnson, 6 goals, 18 points a year ago. There's a steal and a shot, and Barry calmly sticked it aside with McPhee right in his lap. Will Johnson, one of 6 seniors on this Wisconsin hockey team. Again, 9 freshmen, 16 underclassmen, only 3 juniors. One of them is third-string goaltender Johan Blomqvist.
And you know what? You got a recruiting class next year that's probably better than this class, and probably the best that Wisconsin's had in probably 10 years.
2 kids for the United States under-18 team that could be top 15, top 10 overall picks in the NHL draft next year. Cole Caulfield and Alex Turcotte.
Cole Caulfield can score, just like his old man.
Yep. And actually, I think Brock can put up some pretty good numbers here, too. He's got some good hands. And, Brock Caulfield had a goal and 7 shots on goal, plus an assist in that exhibition game. And I know the quality of opposition wasn't that strong last Sunday against Victoria, but nevertheless, he showed some skill around the net. Wall with a stoppage in play. 10:49 left here in the third. Wisconsin with a 2-0 lead.
Well, recruiting is such a different ballgame than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. And we give credit to Mark Osicki. That's one thing that, again, coaches, it's not the same for everyone. You can, when he left, one thing you take away is not only does he can't coach these kids, but he can't evaluate talent. And that's one of the things that Mark does extremely well. Mark Strobel does it, but Mark Osicki and his dad, Tom Osicki, they do a great job of talking about players and really getting to understand where they come from, who they're playing for, how do they grow up. That's why they get the good ones.
Badgers hold the zone S. Shoots one low. Wall save. Rebound Mesner. Sweeping pass towards the front. Off a skater 2. Gorniak couldn't locate. S got it back, and he'll hammer it down deep. Miller scored 13:43 of the second. Mesner followed about 9.5 minutes later. After a scoreless first period, the Badgers potted 2 in the second, and they hold that 2-0 lead halfway through the third. But a turnover now. Hutsko had it, lost the puck. Gorniak's got it. Well, Hutsko's a dangerous young man, but mishandled it that time. And now Dominic Mersch like a bull in a chiner's shop, centering past to Zerbel. And he was tied up as he tried to pull the trigger by Luke McGinnis. Now a long-range shot that Wall fought off. Badgers have a few freshmen on the ice, and then they come off for more freshmen and just move on through. Inamoto with Kalnick defensively. Here's Cotton now for Boston College. They'll swing it around Fitzgerald. His brother Ryan was a captain with BC a few years ago. His dad Tom played for the Eagles, now the general manager of the New Jersey Devils.
Hell of a player at Providence in his day. Took me on my recruiting trip when I went out there, did Tom.
Really?
Hell of a player.
Yeah, and then he threw you out of Providence, kicked you out. We don't want you. After meeting you really officially. Oh, here's a lead feed. Rashawn, or Ushan, that is. Roman Ushan for Caulfield, couldn't catch it. Go ahead.
He was a good host. Yeah, I didn't feel good the next morning, but he was a good host.
Badger Zimmer, Malone. Oh, tangling beautifully. Malone on his backhand. How sweet is that? His shot, though, denied. Now Zimmer back to Malone. What's he going to do this time? He's just weaving his way through. Eagles off the skate in front. That was Zimmer's right skate. Trickled to the near side. Badgers possessing the puck. Then Miller muffed it at the blue line, and Wisconsin needs to touch up.
That's impressive right there. Guy on your back, you're losing at the blue line. You do all that. Just calm, cool, and collective is Miller.
Yep, here he comes. Surveys and drops. Zimmer's shot missed the net. Baker can't reach. McPhee redirects to center. And now S has it for Wisconsin. Zimmer carries in. Carroll for BC. Again redirected out by McPhee. And the Badgers after it. And Emerson, D to D to S.
That's what's going to be real good for the Badgers this year is the ability to just do that. Number 10 gets the puck, skates real easy, turns his body left and right, moves it quickly side to side up the gate, and boom, they're gone. The ability for this defensive core to move, and not only move the puck, but move their body.
Block shot by S. Came free. Doogie lead feed. Baker cutting in, and he can't get much on the shot, and paddled aside by Joseph Wall. Weissbach steals. Baker's shot. That's blocked in front by Caro. Kalnick pushed it in front for Doogie. Couldn't get his stick down in time. Bounces near side. Tortora. Off the stick. Kalnick now goes to get it. And the Badgers will get a partial change. 7.5 minutes left in the third. It's 2-0 Wisconsin. Inamoto gave it away. Look out. Wahlstrom lifts one off the far post. Oh, did he pull the trigger quick on that one? He had Barry beat clean, but he wrung the pipe.
He's got amazing. Instead of having that puck all the way back behind him, it's got him like almost midway, and you don't know if he's going to shoot or deke.
Oh, 3-on-1 that time. Now nice pull in by BC's Hutsko, and he goes tumbling down. Wanted a penalty, nothing called. Gordiak onside Freitag. His shot low, stick save made by Wall, and the pace is picked
Good
up
game.
here, Robbie.
Yeah, this is good.
Now here's Modula. Missed the handle of the puck. Miller sidesteps one man, tries to do another. Pass intended for Ashawn. Couldn't get good wood on it. And now Brock Caulfield back in his own zone. Tischke will force it down in off the inboards. Who's going to get there first? BC.
Nice.
Walker tried to tic-tac-toe out of the zone, but Fitzgerald's pass was off target, and now Wall again steps behind his net. Mersch on the forecheck. BC releases. Fitzgerald's got it now. Walker back to Fitzgerald. Headman pass intended for his teammate Dudek. Didn't connect. No icing, no call. Dudek sweeps one towards the front of the net, but Ashawn picks it off. Cleared it to the wall, but not out. Fitzgerald now uses Walker as a bit of a screen, and he works his way to the corner. Centering pass, blocked back to the corner. BC's had some offensive zone time here tonight. Badgers have done a nice job man on man and then blocking shots, using their bodies and sticks.
And good like movement too. Like it doesn't always seem like one guy's on one. They talk well. They're moving their bodies, making sure everyone's covered.
Puck up on the back of the net, and the whistle will stop play. We've got a stoppage in play here in Madison. The Wisconsin Badgers hoping to win their season opener tonight. Goals from freshmen Miller and Mesner. It's 2-0 Wisconsin. Well, we started our telecast tonight talking about how young this Wisconsin hockey team is. Two freshmen have scored the goals here tonight, but junior goaltender Jack Barry has faced 26 shots, and he's stopped them all.
It's pretty good. Just stop the puck the first time. I remember Bill Howard once after a bad game we had, took Dwayne Dirksen and our defensive core around. Sean Hill, by the way, Hilly, I'm listening to you. Thank you for the text. He's out in Arizona watching.
Nice.
But he said, listen, Dwayne Dirksen's going to make the first save. You guys clear out, make sure he doesn't have the second and third opportunities. And I think we shut out Duluth that night, and away we went.
Where'd you go?
I went outside.
Kim with a shot, and Barry with his 27th save.
But that's the key, that's why watching the defenseman in front of Barry has been more impressive, because they got such a young group back there, and yet their positioning is solid. They know how to get on the right side and know how to get guys out without just hammering guys in the back with a cross check.
BC a year ago averaged almost 3 goals per game. Here's a team that last season went 18-6 in Hockey East. We've got a whistle and a hand pass called stoppage in play. Went 18-6 in Hockey East, and then went into the Hockey East tournament and advanced to the semifinals, where the Eagles lost in overtime to BU 4-3 and missed the NCAA tournament for the second straight season. But in non-conference play last year, Boston College went 0-7-3. And in fact, Hockey East against the Big Ten last season was 0-14-1. Wow. And it used to be, when the Big Ten was first formed, that the Big Ten struggled in non-conference competition, and it became the laughingstock of college hockey that traditionally said this is not going to work.
No, it's going to work.
It's working now. And change is hard, don't get me wrong. I miss the old days of the WCHA and going to the library in Houghton, Michigan, for Pete's sake, but this ain't bad hockey.
Well, like I say, you get kids wanting to come, and that's the key.
Malone and Cotton yapping at one another. Now both head to their respective benches. And here comes Boston College's McPhee. Darts past Weisbach. Big lad carries it in the corner and then took a hit from the smallest guy on the ice, Sean Doogie. Bouncing puck. Near side McPhee gathers it in and turns and looks. Shoots one at Barry, and he almost snuck it in, but Jack made the stop. To the point now, Model is shot. That got knocked off a skate or a foot. The Badgers pitch it out to center. 4 minutes left, third period. 2-0 Wisconsin season opener. Same teams tomorrow night, 7 o'clock face-off here at the Kohl Center. Kalnick took a hit from Tortora, but released the puck to center, no icing, as the defenseman McInnes had picked it up. Lead feed Tortora now, and Kalnick comes back and nails him near wall and may have gotten away with an elbow. That was close.
That was close.
No penalty called, and now the Badgers lifted all the way down and icing waved off. Fitzgerald.
Nice.
Darts past Gordiak. Gordiak will try to catch him. Wallstrom, headman's Hutsko. And back checking was Gordiak. He lifted the stick of Hutsko, took the puck away. Now Tischke one-hands it around strongly enough to clear it out to center. Nice job by Peter Tischke. Here's Modela. Threw it away to Peter Tischke's stick. Lead feed to Sean. Can he get past Fitzgerald? Cuts in backhand. Oh, somehow got through. I think Wall made a stop. Now Mesner's got it. What's he going to do? S protects. Lost it. Got knocked down. There is a Sean. Got a little shove from behind by Modela, who kicked it free. Sean back up on his skates, but BC's Wallstrom lifts it to center, and it's slowly swept down in. With
He's been quiet. I mean, he had a couple of nights. He had a pipe there, but Wallstrom has been pretty quiet otherwise.
Yep. That and the hit he put on Dominic Mersch in the third period. Here's a Sean. Toe pull, no. Shot by Mersch, trailing, missed the net.
Yikes.
And off the corner boards, here comes Wallstrom, 2-on-1. Feeding Dudek. Wallstrom shoots instead, and it goes off the stick. And off the high glass, Kalnick got it his way that time. Good play by Wyatt Kalnick. You can tell Wallstrom, when he comes across the line, he's thinking one thing: shoot.
And that's the thing, that he doesn't have to be great for 60 minutes. He can be great for 3 minutes.
Right.
And yet he can play. I mean, there's no doubt he can play, and that's the beauty of a guy like that. When he gets the puck, everyone's like, uh-oh.
Right. Remember seeing Jack Eichel when Boston University
same thing
played. It was that type of thing. Or even with the U.S. under-18 team that came here when he was playing with Austin Matthews at the time. What a duo that was. But you didn't notice him. He had a super long stick. You could see he played, carefree.
Yeah.
And it was a relatively tight game. And then Eichel got going. And it was like boom, boom, boom. boom.
Yeah, you're right.
Here's Miller's shot. That's blocked off the leg of Walker. Slides far side Mesner. Under 90 seconds left. Badgers leading 12th ranked Boston College 2-0.
If you're Wisconsin, I don't think you want any whistles here. Just keep playing.
Right.
Keep rolling your lines, Coach Granato, and getting your D out there.
2-0 in home openers under Tony Granato. They won their first game at the Kohl Center when Tony was head coach in 06 by beating BC 3-1. Wall out of his net, steal by Doogie, and he missed the net. Wall now does go to the bench for the extra attacker. Badgers lead by a pair. Extra skater for the Eagles. Brown, toe pull, shot off a stick of Miller. Tischke after it. Brown keeps it alive, and then it's chunked at Barry. Made the stop. Doogie out there with Miller. Rimmed it around, but not out. Held in Fitzgerald. Blocked Doogie. Looking Baker. He's got him on his stick. Open net. Tarek. Baker slides it home. Wisconsin will win its season opener. Baker put the final touches on last year's 5-2 win in Boston with an empty netter. He gets an empty netter here. It's 3-0 Badgers.
We look at that forward line. You got Messner, Doogie, and Baker out there, young guys. And what I loved was Doogie getting that puck up to Baker, because he could have probably taken a chance at going from blue line all the way in, but he realized that Baker was ahead of him, was open. That's how you win games and how you win championships, is just a quick pass like that, get it to Bake, and away you go.
10 goals last year for Baker. He's got his first here tonight. Empty net goal from Sean Doogie, and the Badgers with a 3-0 advantage. Ball back in his net. Badgers looking for more, though.
Love
That's
it.
Tony Granato's philosophy.
Yeah, love it. Keep it going.
You're winning by 3. Try to make it 4.
Ice cream.
15 seconds left. Well, Rob, good start to the season for the Badgers.
You got so many guys playing crucial minutes. I mean, that's the fun while watching this team play. Is I don't care if it's all 6 defensemen, all 19 forwards. Good performance from Barry. Got to be very happy with this start.
And how about Jack Barry? He gets the nod tonight. It was a good battle during practice the last 4 weeks between all 3 goaltenders. And Barry gets the start, and he pitches his 4th career shutout. He blanks Boston College here tonight on 29 shots. Badgers win 3-0.
Hey, and Boston College is a good team. They have some high-end guys that are going to create problems for a lot of teams out there, and this is a big win for the Badger program. Again, a lot of young guys getting their time. Also good to see these older guys step up. You had guys like Barry, Tischke play, very solid. Seamus Malone having a solid game. You don't notice him a lot, but he does all those little dirty things. Then he had a Matthew Freitag. Nice combination of old and young for the Badgers. It's a big win.
Wisconsin wins here tonight. Opens the season with a 3-0 victory over 12th-ranked Boston College. Jack Barry with a shutout. Keandre Miller, Mick Messner, and Tarek Baker with the goals. And we're going to wrap things up and have our player of the game brought to you by Travel Wisconsin coming up in just a moment on Fox Sports Wisconsin.